My name is Steve Schultz. Graduated from here in 2002. I'm a men's basketball coach and I teach English. I think Friends was like the hit show back then. Wrestling was huge back then. One of the highest rated shows around. A lot of people still watch wrestling, they don't really talk about it. Professional wrestling, WWF, now it's called WWE, but back then everyone was open about it and they talked about it and they wore t-shirts to school. Fashion, a lot of guys, it was like Abercrombie and Fitch, whatever. And guys dressed up nicely to school. Like, a lot of kids wear, basketball shorts and t-shirts. You'd be made fun of. Either back then, people wore turtlenecks and it was just dressier and not as casual as it is now. New things. Well, we had actually called Fountain Valley West. Most people don't know about this, but right across the street here, where it's that kind of retirement home we have now, is actually part of our high school, and it was the whole cafeteria and foreign building was under construction. So people complain about 8 minutes. Now we had to go from here all the way across the street to the other end of the retirement home, and there were buildings there. It was called Fountain Valley West, and there was a crossing walk, there was crossing guards. And so the school was split across the street, and we parked in the grass over there. So that was a big difference, having both sides of school. There's only a few teachers left that I had that still work here, and I was fortunate to have a lot of really good teachers. Some bad ones too, but a lot of good ones. But like Mrs. Ziegler, Mrs. Bigler, Mr. Gonzalez, Miss Gordon, I had when I was a student here. I think those are the only 4 teachers that I had that are still working here. But just every day was something new. I can't think of a one key favorite moment. Maybe we won the bell twice. My 4 years here, we won the bell twice, and so that was expected. It wasn't a shock to us. But just a lot of memories with the basketball team, with sports, volleyball team when I went here. I think the biggest for me in my 4 years at Fountain Valley was the attacks on the Trade Center of 9/11. That was, I think, the second week of my senior year of this high school. We came to school that morning, and we used to have these little TVs in the room. I think Mr. Gonzalez had cable in his class, and one of the few teachers. And I think we all just skipped first period. There was a bunch of us just in his room watching the news in shock. I mean, my kids now, their whole lives have grown up in war and terrorism. We didn't even know those words. We never heard the word terrorism. We didn't hear Al-Qaeda or all these things. And people are much more friendlier back then and not so fearful. But that really changed the rest of our senior year. And it changed just the discourse and the attitude and behavior of everyone in our country since then. We're much more friendlier back then, and we're much too fearful now. But coming to school, it was scary. Classes were silent. I don't think we even had classes that day. We just kind of talked, and there was this collective shock, and you're just stunned, like what is happening to our country. And so that really shaped the course of our senior year. I'm thinking, I don't know, I've just been on this campus like my whole life. I learned to swim in that swimming pool when I was like 6 years old, and I came to camps here when I was young and watched my older siblings and my friends' older brothers play sports here. And you felt kind of like when you grew up in Fountain Valley, we talked a lot about, Barron for life, but we were like Barron since birth back then. It was this real community feel that we went to all the football games when you were in middle school, and that was a popular place to be. And football games were sold out. You got to get there early. You didn't get a seat. That's not the case anymore with our sporting events. But and then I graduated in 2002, and I started coaching in 2003. So I really have been in some way on this campus since I was 6 years old, and it's been a good 25 years. So.